Hey y'all, Jaybird Challenge number 20 tonight. And I actually thought of this subject when I was at work today. I was working out at the JW Marriott, which is this huge hotel, like maybe 10 minutes from where I live. And I was doing this show, the wine and spirits show. And we were like hauling furniture up and down elevators and into rooms and stuff all day. And it was really frustrating kind of day. And when I was at work, there was a friend of mine that I wanted to talk to, but he was like on a different crew, and I kept seeing him at a distance, and like, hey, I want to talk to you, kind of thing. But I could never seem to find him. So eventually, I went and wrote a note and gave it to somebody and said, here, when you see, so and so, give him the note. And they're like, okay, no problem. So it was like maybe a couple hours later or so, and all of a sudden, here comes my friend. He's got the note in his hand. I'm like, oh, okay, you got my note. And he came up to me. He's like, dude, I couldn't fucking read this. it was a mess. And he was like, what does it say? And I'm like, oh, you couldn't tell. And I was like, I looked at the note. And I was like, what did I write? I did write it kind of fast, but yeah, it was a mess. I was like, oh yeah, okay, this is what it says. He was like, really? And I started thinking, damn, my handwriting is it's just horrible. It's chicken scratch. I mean, if I take my time to write, I can write pretty decent. Uh, at least print stuff out. My actually, the only thing I write in cursive is my name. Uh, that's the only thing I ever write in cursive anymore. Everything else is just print. But I can actually write in cursive if I sit down and take my time and kind of think about every letter. And it's hard. It's one of those lost things. I didn't have to do it since I was a kid in school, so I sort of gave up on cursive. But yeah, uh, the thing is, though, I kind of like writing, even as bad as my handwriting is. I enjoy writing stuff. And when I was a kid, when I was younger, uh, I had pen pals that I would write to, and I enjoyed writing like that. And sometimes I'd have to write for school, and that could be interesting depending on the subject that they gave me. But as I grew older, the only thing I really spent a lot of time writing was when I was a teenager. At least in my late teens and my early 20s, I was just a total geek, a Dungeons and Dragons master. And I used to get together with friends and play D&D. And since I was a dungeon master, I had to come up with all kinds of ideas for characters and storylines and stuff for the game. So I really enjoyed writing stories. For me, for as long as it was something that I enjoyed playing, it was fun for me to write it. Uh, and the thing is, people just don't write anymore. I mean, some people who are writers, they're good at it, but most people, the art of writing is just fading into the background. I mean, with technology, it's so easy to sit down and send someone a text message real quick, or send them an email, something like that. That's a little more personal, but the art of writing letters is just kind of dying, and that's sad because it's a very quaint, very eloquent way of expressing yourself. If you sit down and take your time to write something out to somebody, they're going to appreciate it a lot more. I mean, if a person takes the time to sit with pen and paper and write things out and then put it in an envelope and send it to you, it's like the best way to express yourself. I actually sent a friend of mine a letter like a year ago, and what I do when I'm going to write a letter, I find something personal that means something to me to talk about, and then I'll sit down with like some classical music playing or something that's calming, and I'll just take my time and write real slow. And if I get halfway through a page and I screw up and I scribble, a lot of times I'll stop and rewrite the entire page just so it doesn't look crappy. And occasionally I'll add a little flourish here or there, like a design or something. But that's not, I don't know, that's not really a man thing. My sister Rhonda, actually, she writes great letters. and she adds all kinds of flowers and birds and bees and all kinds of stuff to the letters, and it's really cool. But yeah, I mean, I enjoy writing. You can really get your emotions across, and you can get your point across a lot better with a letter than you ever could just sending somebody an email. So yeah, I find it sad that letters are just becoming a thing of the past. So there you go. There's my rant for tonight. Uh, and if you guys make a video response for this, maybe someone will. It would be cool to know when the last letter you wrote and how you write letters, because I think it's kind of an individual art. So give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. At least a regular comment would be great. But thanks for your time. Later.